to Intuitive Tea Gemini. This is going to be the Gemini updated Celtic spread. This is going to be for Gemini feminine and Gemini masculine energy, sun, moon, and rising signs, as well as north nodes. I'm going to shuffle these up, and then we're going to see what's currently going on with my Gemini individuals. Let's see. Alright, so let's see. You received financial and material changes, but you did receive this reverse Gemini. So what this is telling me is that you actually have to make some changes within yourself and make some changes as far as like the efforts you've been putting in, the things you've actually been doing on a day-to-day basis to welcome in these material and financial changes. It's literally saying these things aren't just going to fall into play, like they're not going to fall in your lap. So you do have to be willing to put in the work necessary, do what it's going to take to bring these things forward to you. And it also was accompanied by number 5. I didn't see that, but 5s represent changes. So it's saying you're going to have to make changes, do new things to bring in new things. I feel like a lot of you are working on a certain vision or goal. You have a dream that you're trying to bring into reality, and it's going to work for you if you start working for it, basically. You received movement, choices, decisions. You received this reversed. So yeah, it's saying at this time you need to be very, so this is speaking on your well-being, material-wise, just having things in general. To have the movement, choices, and decisions card reversed, it's saying you need to be very, I don't want to say selective, you need to be very mindful of the decisions and choices you make at this time. You need to make sure you're not being hasty with your decision making, you're not rushing it. Also make sure you're not making decisions based off how you're feeling at the time, like off emotions. Because it is saying it could end up leading you down the wrong path. You could end up spending money on things you don't need. Like I said, just basing your choices off how you feel. So don't be an emotional shopper at this time. I'm a Gemini, so I know we struggle with that. Shopping for things we don't need, buying things we don't need. So it is saying at this time be very mindful of your abundance. Now let's see what's going on. In this case, you received the Devil card reverse. This is actually a very good card to receive reverse because it's saying a lot of you are detaching from relationships that were no good. You're disconnecting from toxic environments, toxic individuals, toxic situations. You are the toxic person at times, and I know because like I said before, I'm a Gemini, so I understand what this card is saying to us. It's saying a lot of us are breaking away from things that are holding us back, and it's more so things within, like things about ourselves that we actually need to change. Attitude problems, etc., like procrastinating, being lazy, things like that. So it's saying a lot of us are breaking away from things that are holding us back and hindering us. And like I said, a lot of it is within. A lot of it is actually us, like things we're doing. Temperance card reverse. To have this reverse is saying that a lot of you need to pay more attention and time to your family members. This could be those around you. This could be long distance family members, whatever the case may be. To have this reverse is saying that you are placing too much of your time either in a relationship or placing too much of your time focused on work, focused on abundance, things like that. And it's actually good that you're trying to create that type of future for yourself and for your loved ones, but it is saying don't get to the point where it's all work, no play, and you're neglecting to check on every other area of your life, because it's saying that's actually what's happening at this time. Now let's see what's currently going on with Gemini feminine masculine energies, your current situation. You received the third eye chakra reverse. So this is saying you need to unblock your third eye chakra. You're not seeing certain situations clearly. I feel like a lot of you need to ground yourself and be practical. There's something you're going after, but the way you're going after it may not be the best. Like you're trying to rush something, or you're not believing in something the way you should. For the third eye chakra reversed, you received the death card upright. Alright, now let's see. As far as obstacles and challenges, temptation reversed. Yeah. Alongside the Page of Pentacles reversed. I'll turn this like that. The third slide represents influence. You received destiny for that, number 10. You received that upright. alongside the King of Pentacles reversed. For the fourth place, I believe that is Root. You receive Patience, number 14. You receive that upright. You receive that card alongside the Ace of Cups upright. Number 5 represent Past. You receive number 5, Emotional Loss. You receive that reverse alongside King of Swords reverse. For Future, you received the Crown Chakra reverse, number 7, alongside the 8 of Cups reverse. For number 8, well no, that's 6. For number 7, that represents your attitude, 17, upright, hope, alongside the High Priestess reverse. The number 8 represents your environment. Number 9, upright, is speaking on solitude, alongside the Emperor card reversed. Number 9 represents hope. Well, number 9 doesn't represent, but in this case, in your Celtic spread, number 9 is hopes and fears. Conflict and defeat, number 5. You also received that reversed alongside 2 of Wands reversed. Last but not least, you received for your outcome number 3, fertility as well. That's cool. You received this. You and you as well as Leo, Geminis and Leos have both received fertility as your outcome. So it's saying for a lot of Geminis and Leos at this time, masculine and feminine energies, you're bringing a lot of new things forth. You're focused on a lot of new beginnings, growth, expansion. For fertility, you received the 6 of Swords reversed. Okay, so on the bottom of the deck right here, harmony reversed. That's telling me that a lot of relationships aren't on the best of terms at this time. For Gemini, feminine and masculine energies, this is referring to not just someone you deal with romantically, but this could be a friendship, best friends. This could be a family ship. It's just referring to a connection that's not on the best of terms right now. And then on the bottom over here, you receive the Ace of Wands reversed. So it is saying at this time you need to focus on initiating these new beginnings. These new beginnings are going to bring you the blessings you deserve if you focus on them in the right ways. So let's actually go through your Celtic spread. For the first stack, which represents your current situation, you receive the 3rd eye chakra reverse as well as the Death card upright. Like I spoke on before, you're not seeing the bigger picture about something. Like it's saying you're not seeing something clearly. Your judgment is clouded toward a person or a situation. The Death card coming out upright, I feel like it's not only saying you need to put an end to your 3rd eye chakra being blocked, like you need to see things for what they are. You need to look at the bigger picture and see through. I feel like a lot of you are allowing your emotions and your ego to get in the way, like your pride is getting in the way of seeing the situation for what it truly is. It's saying you also need to allow these endings. A lot of you are, the reason why your 3rd chakra is blocked is because you're hanging on to the past. So it is saying you need to walk away, basically. Don't try to control situations. Don't try to control what you're going through. Trust in the process, surrender to it, and allow things to be what they are. I believe this was like this. For, yeah, it was reversed. For number 2, which is obstacles and challenges, you receive temptation reverse and Page of Pentacles reverse. So the obstacle and challenge in this stack right here, for one, is the temptation. It's saying a lot of you are facing quitting addictions at this time. I feel like a lot of you have quit smoking, or you're, like I said, you quit things that you knew were holding you back. And it's saying you're actually being faced with temptations on a daily. It's saying that's the obstacle and challenge. They want you to make sure you continue to resist anything that's going to hold you back from this growth or this new person you're trying to become. And like I said, it's not just addictions. This is speaking on how you act as well. Let me see something. The Page of Pentacles, for one, the page represents someone who is knowledgeable. They know they have to have knowledge when it comes to, they understand they have to have knowledge to bring in this new abundance. So it's saying you also need to open up to learning new things. Don't feel like you know, when you feel like you know everything you need to know, when you feel like there's nothing else for you to learn, that's really when you, I don't want to say when you fail, but that's kind of when you fail, because it's like we'll never stop learning. From the day we were born to the day we pass away, we'll always be learning. That's the whole gist of life, like growing and having experiences, learning from those experiences, and like I said, becoming better, doing better. So this is saying don't resist the need to learn something new, and don't resist learning new things. Like, this is actually going to work out for you. Like I said, if you embrace it, it's going to bring you all the blessings you need. At this time, resist anybody or anything that's trying to hold you back or hinder you in any type of way. Like I said, resist your old ways of being. At this time, you really do need to work on how you react to things. You need to work on being emotionally mature, is what they're showing as well. Like, stop feeding into things, for one, that have nothing to do with you. Stop overreacting in certain situations as well. Gemini, feminine, masculine energies. I know, like I said, I'm a Gemini. We tend to do this. I know for a fact because I do it. I can't speak for y'all, but it's saying we need to become more emotionally mature when it comes to handling situations. Everything does not need a outburst of a reaction. And it's saying you allow things that have happened in the past, triggers that no longer should be triggers, to affect how you are as a person now. And it's saying at some point it gets old. It's kind of what this is saying to us. Like I said, I'm a Gemini too, so it's talking to me too. It's saying at some point this gets old. So it's saying they want you to work on how you react to things. You need to be slow to, slow to anger, quick to understand. It's kind of what they're saying. For your third card, which represents influence, you receive Destiny reversed. No, you have received Destiny upright, and you receive King of Pentacles reversed. That's my fault. I pulled it up the wrong way. Destiny, influence is saying at this time they literally want you to focus on your soul mission and your purpose. It's literally saying, even though this is a masculine energy, and this is for one speaking on Gemini masculine energy, saying that you need to focus on your purpose so that you can bring in that abundance. But this is also represent feminine energies as well. It's just a masculine energy. It's saying you need to embody this strong, confident CEO type, I'm going after what it is I deserve and what I want business, type of business, like I said, entrepreneur type energy. Basically not accepting no as an answer. It's saying you're going for what you want. Also, it's saying if you focus on your destiny at this time, your abundance is going to straighten out. Like, all of this is going to straighten itself out, but you have to focus on it. This has to be something that takes this has to be something that gets the majority of your attention. It's saying don't save what you have left for this. This needs to be your main focus at this time. It's saying your life is going to change in many ways if you focus on your purpose and your mission, what you've been asked to do. For the fourth card, that represents roots. So that represents things that go beyond just everyday life. The root, quote unquote, is referring to things that actually shaped you and molded you. Ace of Cups upright, as well as the Patience upright. This is referring to the fact that you do need to work on not only how you give love, how you show love, but also how you receive it. It's saying you have to move past traumas and wounds, heal those things so that you, like I said, can be more compassionate toward people, more understanding, more loving, and like I said, so you can also receive that same love as well. Patience upright is referring to the fact that things may not align and fall into place the way you expect it to, as soon as you expect it to, but that is speaking on the fact that you need to like I say, you need to heal some things. You are the way you are, and I'm not saying it's because of anyone else, because it's not. At some point, it's because of us. At some point, we have to realize, like, okay, when we're younger, we can blame and say it's because of somebody else. But as we get older, it's like at this point, it's because you want to be screwed up. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those situations. It's saying, be patient. A lot of you have things you need to heal from earlier days, childhood days, that's causing you to be impatient when you felt like you didn't have control over situations. So now you feel like everything has to be on your watch, on your clock, or something like that. The Ace of Cups, it's also referring to the fact that you have a hard time, like I said, showing love and receiving love. You do need to work on that. This is speaking on your roots, speaking on things you need to heal, or things, that need to come to surface, that could end up coming to surface on their own. So it's really just up to you how you go about handling these things and situations. Number 5 represents, well, it doesn't represent, but in this case, in your Celtic spread, this represents the past. You receive the emotional loss reverse, as well as the King of Swords reverse. So what that's telling me for a lot of Gemini feminine energies, you have had issues with the masculine energy. I don't want to say this person doesn't speak their mind. It's the way they speak their mind, or the way they come about it, like the way they feel. They're not wrong for feeling like that, but it's saying that some of these individuals need to, I feel like, be more articulate with how they feel. Like they need to express themselves more or express themselves in a different way. You know what I'm saying? That emotional loss card reverse is saying like this is someone you've either dealt with romantically for a long time, or this is someone that is like a father figure type individual. This is a brother. This is speaking of someone who has love from you in some sort of way. Like I said, this could be romantically for those of you who are dating this person. For some of you, this is a platonic relationship, meaning this is like a family member. The emotional loss card reverse. And another thing, this really just came to my head, so I know for a few of you, this is what this is. For a few of you Gemini masculine and Gemini feminine energies, you have a father figure that was not there for you, I feel like, or your actual father wasn't there for you. That emotional loss, because this is the past, like I said, a lot of you, this is referring to the fact that you haven't healed from that trauma, but a lot of you have chosen individuals to date based off of this, and it's saying that was kind of like the wrong move, if you get what I'm saying. Like you chose individuals based off what you feel like you needed to have in that father figure that was not there for you. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of, what's the word? It backfired. Like it didn't work out in your favor at all. For a lot of you, it's saying you have been with some individuals who weren't articulate or outspoken. I don't want to say outspoken, but they didn't communicate clearly. And it's saying there was an emotional loss and a disconnect between you and that person there as well. For some of you, I feel like you actually wanted that relationship and connection to work, but y'all couldn't be on the same terms as far as communicating was concerned. For future, you receive the Eight of Cups reverse as well as the Crown Chakra reverse. To have the Eight of Cups reverse, the Crown Chakra represents knowing. It's kind of like the third eye, but this is more so a mindset, a mental thing. To have this reverse is saying that a lot of you, your Crown Chakras are blocked. You aren't processing the information you need to process as quickly as you need to. You aren't planning things out the way they need to be planned out. It's like you have it in your mind what you want, but you're not laying it out in a way that it could be done. You need to be practical as well. To have this Eight of Cups reverse, it's saying that a lot of you need to separate from the past. You need to separate from that old way of thinking as well. Like I said, the Crown Chakra represents your mindset, mental things. A lot of you are avoiding leaving this negative mindset, leaving this negative space, but it's actually saying this is keeping your goals and a lot of things from coming into fruition. Some of you are neglecting to even believe in yourself. Some of you are believing in yourself. You're putting in the work, but like I said, you're turning around after you're uploading, doing whatever you're doing, working, going here, going there, and you're saying, no, that's not going to work. So basically, you just quit all the hard work you just put in off one thought, off one negative thought. So it is saying at this time, Gemini, masculine and feminine energies, you really, and I know for a fact because, like I said, once again, Gemini feminine right here. It's saying that we really need to focus on changing our mindset. Being negative all the time is going to continue to attract these negative outcomes to us. Nothing is going to work in your favor until you change your mindset. It's literally going to take, that's really all it's going to take is you changing your mindset and not being so negative to watch all of this fall into play. It's also saying you're going to have better relationships, friendships, whatever the case may be. Things are going to get better for you altogether, Gemini, masculine and feminine, when you stop expecting the worst and you stop automatically assuming the worst about everything and everybody. Number 7, that represent, well, number 7 in the Celtic spread is referring to attitude. So a lot of you, I feel like, are starting to get you receive hope upright, the High Priestess reverse. A lot of you know you need to change your mindset. It's literally saying with the hope upright, you know you need to have faith. You know it's really just going to take you having faith and having positive thoughts and changing that negative mindset and that negative voice in your head that's telling you to be negative. It's like you know what you need to do to bring forth a lot of things. You know you need to shine your light. You know how to like I said, I feel like you have a lot of good qualities that you bring to the table, but you're not showing this. It's like you're putting up a mask to be something you're not at this time. The High Priestess reverse, like I said, is referring to you neglecting to trust your intuition. So a lot of you know what changes need to be made. You're just not doing it. And it's saying the longer you prolong making these changes, the longer it's going to take for these new beginnings to happen and come into your life as well. So do keep that in mind. Number 8, this is representing your environment. You receive solitude. Number 9, upright. You receive the Emperor card reverse. The Emperor card is usually referring to a masculine energy. Sometimes this person can be, it's saying, controlling. Sometimes this person can be strict. This person can be overbearing. The Emperor, sometimes, depending on the spread, pertains to someone who is, like I said, they're controlling, but it's getting to the point where it's like It's not a protective controlling. It's say you're going to do what I say. I'm going to tell you what to do because I run you type of controlling. But to have this reverse and to have solitude upright, for this to be your environment, I do feel like you separated from this person. It's saying you're starting to take your power back from this individual. Solitude represents someone who's going within. They're currently focused on themselves. Not in a selfish way, but more so in a I need peace type of way. And then to have the Emperor card reverse, it's literally saying this masculine energy knows that he no longer has control over you. Like this person knows, like I said, this person knows you're detached, and this person knows like they can no longer, I don't know, I want to say you completely healed, like you completely walked away from that situation, but they can't control you the way they used to, and it's more so a mind thing. It's a mind game, really. That's what they're speaking on and referring to. Also, the Emperor represents someone who is compassionate, but at the same time, they're confident enough to be assertive. To have this reverse is saying that there are some traits in you, Gemini, that you need to reawaken. Like it's saying either you're losing your compassionate side or you're losing your assertive side. It's saying something is unbalanced. You need to make sure you're not always being a hard ass. Excuse my language, but you also need to make sure you're not always being a pushover either. So it's saying balance those traits out. Don't be afraid to show your sensitive side because you think somebody's going to take advantage of it. But don't be afraid to put your foot down either and be assertive in a... But it's saying you have to work on being assertive in a respectful way. And it's not being assertive really with family. It's more so those around you. This is more so like a business card. Those you deal with in a business way or like friends, etc. Number 9. Number 9 represents, what is that? Hopes and fears. 2 of Wands reversed, as well as the conflict and defeat reversed. 2 of Wands reversed is saying that you know you need to make a decision. Conflict and defeat. Yeah, a lot of you I feel like have separated from a lot of conflict. And like I said, as a Gemini, I notice we're like a lot of the times we're the conflict. So it's saying you're separating from a lot of aggressive traits about yourself. You're separating from a lot of things within yourself that's causing you to cause issues or that's causing you to be a problem at times. But this is also saying you're separating from some negative environments too. So it's saying it's a little bit of both. And it's not really negative environments. It's like an individual or a certain person or whatever the case may be. Like someone you probably have back and forth issues with. It's saying you're walking away from that conflict. It's like you're literally saying at this point, if I have to be defeated, if you have to win, you won. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Gemini, I don't feel like you're pouring the same energy into getting even with this person or trying to be as vindictive or revengeful. Revengeful, yeah, I feel like, as you usually are. And not trying to say anything bad about it, but I know how we can get. And it's like, you're starting to... I feel like even though you may not be saying it, you're starting to process this in a better way. Like you're starting to realize you don't have to... I don't know, it's not really not having the last word, but it's like you don't have to be right. You don't have to prove yourself. It's one of those type of situations. Last but not least, the outcome, you will receive Gemini, feminine and masculine energies. You receive the 6 of Swords reversed as well as fertility upright. These have to be the most important 2 cards you received in your entire Celtic spread. Like I spoke on earlier, fertility represents nurturing something new. For some of you, it's pregnancies. It's literally saying some of you are having trouble conceiving at this time. You need to change your mindset. You're telling yourself within your mind that you'll never get pregnant, so you're never going to be pregnant. So make sure you're having a positive mindset, especially if you're currently trying. If y'all were in the process of trying, you need to have as high of a... But yes, like I was speaking on before, for a lot of you Gemini, feminine and masculine energies, all this is referring to is the fact that you're creating something new and you need to change your mindset. If you're having negative thoughts about it, negative outcomes are going to come. So it is saying as you're putting in this work and moving forward, make sure your mindset is actually matching what you're doing, or it's not going to benefit you in any way. But if you would like to book a full divination, check my description box below. Go to my Facebook link and book a session.